All right, joining me today, the great Salt Papi, coming off the back of an incredible win over Josh Bruckner, an incredible year since you made your debut back in March. Talk to me about how much your life has changed from where you were in March of last year, February of last year to now.
It's been crazy, man. Been like a roller coaster, and yeah, I just been putting all the work. Been going to the gym every single day, twice a day since since like February, preparing for Halal Hamadi. I never really stopped training. Continued training for like because I know I'm gonna be fighting, and yeah, my hard work showed for all my single fights, and now I'm here.
You know, when I saw your coach Solomon backstage at the Josh fight the other day, I said to him, "You made a big mistake here," and he said, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" And I said, "You told Papi to stop showboating, and he ended up just knocking Josh out, and now nobody's going to want to fight him."
Damn.
And that's what happened to you, bro. Nobody wants to fight you now. Everyone saw what you did to Josh, who's a very respected, veteran of combat sports. I think he's done 20 fights MMA and boxing in that region, 15,
Uh,
20 fights.
I mean,
And
MMA, amateur, had amateur MMA,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
25.
So I think what 10 amateur MMAs, five pro, or no, eight or nine pros, and then a couple of boxing matches as well. This was a guy who people didn't want to fight, and you stepped up and fought him.
Mm,
And now people don't want to fight you. Nobody wants to get. Nobody wants to go near you.
yeah. Damn, I think I set him up right. I was patient, and yeah, he didn't expect my punch is that powerful. And he walked into my punch, and then yeah, he got knocked down, and I couldn't get up.
Are you now beginning to get frustrated with the amount of people who are saying, "Oh no, I don't want to get in the ring with Salt Papi"?
Um, not really. It just shows down like, one of the best. That's what it just means.
For sure. So there's let's go back to, because people talk about this a lot, your boxing history, whether you've had all of these fights or whether you started preparing for Halal Ham. What is the truth? Flat out, because you looked great against Halal Ham, but you also didn't look like, you looked like
I
somebody
didn't
who
look. I look
it wasn't that like, it
like
wasn't like the best performance I've
I
ever seen
wasn't
of
that
you.
good. Yeah, exactly. I was so like growing up, I always been a fan of boxing. Like, Manny Pacquiao is like the biggest superstar in the Philippines. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is the one that everybody watches to. Boxing is like basketball and boxing are like the main sport in the Philippines. So obviously, as a child, we always watch Manny Pacquiao growing up. Like, I used to like imitate what he does. Like, he's like everybody like, look up to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I never really had access to any boxing gym. I never really trained like that. Most of the time, I just like copying. I had a few street fights back in school growing up, and the only time I had access to like a boxing gym is like last year, like a proper boxing gym. Like most of the time, I'm just in a normal gym. Like we have punching bag there, so I would work on my technique. I would watch a lot of boxing tutorials, stuff like that. And also I've done like, sparring in the streets, like with other basketball player because I play a lot of basketball. It was my main sport, basketball.
Right.
And then sometimes we would just like, like spar with other basketball player. And yeah, I got really better sparring with those guys. Yeah, I watch a lot of tutorials, and then I would like try do it. And yeah, and then obviously Solomon, like back then, my favorite move was the pull counter,
Mm-hmm.
like Floyd Mayweather pull counter. And then yeah, Solomon like helped me improve it, and then he taught me a lot of like other moves that I can do, and I can learn it like really quick.
So this rumor of, I think the number they say is, this number changes all the time, right? At first it was he did a couple of amateur fights. I think he got all the way up to 36 amateur fights. They were saying some crazy number. This is all BS.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's BS, man. No, because I came to England when I was like 13. So
Mhm.
obviously, if I did amateur, like here in England, it would show.
Yeah.
Like, in Philippines, I was like, really fat. I was young. I was broke. We didn't have much money. No access to gym. Most of the time, just going to school. Like, just normal kid.
Did you find it difficult moving from the Philippines to the UK at the age you did?
Yeah. I couldn't speak English. Don't know anybody. All my friends were back in the Philippines. So yeah, man. Yeah, I was a dancer too. Like, I
Mhm.
started dancing when I was 14, 15. That's it, man. But
And
always been a fan of boxing. Like growing up watching Floyd. Like I always like when there's a fight, I always watch them.
for sure, and like you say, Manny Pacquiao is this like monster superstar. Like for us in Ireland, it was Conor McGregor growing up. He was like the
Yeah,
big guy, and I'd imagine it was the same with Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
So you decided that you're going to do this show last March against Halal Ham, who I think had a bit more experience than you at the time, right? Like I remember during that fight week seeing him and going, you'll beat this guy. You know, this guy's like a TikTok guy, whatever. I thought he was
Mm.
going to win, and then you obviously showed up, and clearly the work had been done. So when did you get the call to do Showstar back then, and what was the what was it that got you into that environment in the first place?
So like around January time, I was still working my normal job, or like I
Mhm.
wasn't like doing this social media full time. And around February, they already contacted me. I said no, I don't think I can do it because I have a full time job. I don't think
Mhm.
I can train anything like that. And in February, I started to do social media full time, and I told them, okay, I'm down to do it, blah blah blah. And then yeah, I'm matched with Halal Ham, and I started training for that. I was training myself most of the time in the basketball court, sometimes in the gym with my dad. I'm just helping him with the pads. My dad doesn't know anything about boxing. He doesn't. He's not a boxing trainer.
Right.
He's not a boxing coach, or he's not even a boxer. I
Yeah.
taught him how to do the pads, like, but just just watching YouTube videos. And yeah, I was my sparring partner. My brother's not a boxer too, so we just beat out of the hell of each other. And my younger brother's stuff, and I
Mm.
think he'll beat a lot of like YouTube influencer. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was sparring him. I was sparring my brother like most of the time. And then yeah, around March, I fought Halal Ham. He has like I think like 12 amateur when he was young, and also he's a bit experienced. He also had like previous fight in the Logan versus
Yeah.
KSI, which he won. So he does a lot of like he has a lot like more experience than me. But then you know I like fighting, and I like to challenge myself. And yeah, I was also overweight. There's a way for me to lose weight, get healthier. That was my main focus, just get in shape. And yeah, I fought Halal Ham, and I did what I did best. I fought him, I trash talked him in the fight, made him like I countered him a lot, and yeah, I made it look easy.
Well, definitely, it did seem like you talk about the weight loss. And when I met you the first time, I think it was the open workout at Showstar in Box Park in Wembley, and and Solomon was doing the talking for you, and you were doing the whole thing
Yeah.
with the lifts and everything. And then you do your fight, you won, everything blows up. You fought Andy Warski, knocked him out, and I remember we were in the dressing room at Halal Ham's fight, where we were all sharing the dressing room. Anthony Taylor, Halal Ham, and Ginty were all in there. And I remember looking at you and going, "This guy's a professional athlete. Like this guy's unrecognizable from the guy who I met back in March at the open workout that time." When did you kind of really feel like the momentum was building for you in boxing?
I mean, I started feeling that I was getting better. It's when I've been sparring like a lot of like amateur, like very good record, like 56 plus fights, professional, um, professional boxers like Anistaj, Sak Chili, if you know them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's
And
Taj is fighting
yeah,
Vidal Riley, isn't he? This weekend.
yeah, I've been sparring this guy. So I felt like I was getting better. I was like, getting closer and closer to like, to some of the amateur level. Like
Mm-hmm.
Sak Chili told me that I'm like I look like the way I fight, I look like a good level amateur.
Yeah.
I could do pros, like that's what he told me. But obviously against Sak Chili, like he's very good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was just getting better and better. Like I was training every day, like I said, and my hard work showed, like for every single fight. For Josh, I was only in gear 2. I didn't really increase the gear.
Hmm. That's the crazy part because Josh is a good boxer. Josh is, like we said, he's
Yeah.
fought however many times, and it didn't look at any point like you were troubled in there.
Not yeah. I was waiting for him to. I was waiting until we get to round 3 and round 4, and then I will increase my pressure. Round 1, round 2, I was just like testing him, seeing what he does, learning about what he does, and then obviously I noticed that I was faster than him, so it was easy to time.
You do now find yourself in that interesting position where it isn't just that people won't fight you, but it also would be like that Andy Worski fight was probably an irresponsible thing for the matchmakers to put on because it was so one sided, right? Like you and Ham was kind of equal, and you and Josh, obviously. I mean, both. It's interesting actually. The Ham fight and the Josh fight, you were probably not the underdog, but there were people who felt you could lose both of those fights. Whereas
Mm.
Worski, I guess I don't know. People didn't know what either of you
Because
were.
we didn't really know what Andy Worth can do.
Yeah,
He was supposed to fight like a year ago in
yeah.
MMA. So but his opponent backed out. So he's been training. He's been training, but there's level. I think there's level to boxing, and some people are naturally talented. Some people like Deji. Deji has been training for like 5 years.
Hmm.
Like so there's levels. Some people can be training for a year and then already up here.
Yeah. No, for sure. But what I'm saying is that at this point, you're in a tough spot because I mean, you couldn't go in there with like an Idris Virgo, probably. I would think maybe you could. I don't know. Or but they
I think
also. Sorry, go ahead.
I believe I could take on good, like like some of the pros. I
Hmm.
think I can beat them, but there's no point. There's like what do you call it? I'm an influencer boxer, and
Yeah.
there's not really point like me fighting like a professional boxer with like 13 like 0, where I
Hmm.
only have like three zero.
Yeah.
Like doesn't make sense. If I was 13-0, then I'll fight him. Like I'll beat him.
Yeah.
I'll beat any of the pros.
What I'm saying is there's a little gap there because I also think that you would probably fancy like you would be a pretty massive favorite against Deji, Taylor Holder, any like Gib. Well, maybe not Gib. That might be a good fight. You and Gib, or you and Slim or something. But
Yeah.
you're too big for Slim, right?
I mean, I'm a bit heavier. Yeah, I'm a bit heavier. Maybe like 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah, and obviously you guys are friends too, so you probably don't want to fight.
I mean, like, friends can fight when the money's right, don't matter. So like it's only a sport, like, don't take it personal, just doing business. And yeah,
Realistically,
man.
who does Keem think you're gonna fight?
Um we want to fight one of the big names. I want to fight Logan Paul since he's trying to come back to boxing. Me beating Logan Paul, probably Jake Orkesa would want to fight me next. And or Deji. Like I want to fight Deji, man. He's my first caller ever.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, that night when when you beat Alaham, first fight of the night in Showstar, all the way now
Yeah.
to. I mean, your next fight's probably gonna be main or co-main event, I would think.
Like I'm up now, top 5. Come on, Deji, man.
Yeah, I mean that Deji fight would be very interesting, and it seems like he wants to stay boxing, right? He obviously just got in there with Mayweather. What did you make of that whole thing with him and Floyd?
Floyd didn't really do like his best. But I think Deji did well, but he just need to be more aggressive. And yeah,
And you're confident you would beat Deji too, right?
I believe I can beat Deji. Yeah, but that's why I want to fight him. Show everybody, but he needs to work hard too, innit? If he wants to beat me, if he wants to be on the top 5, and if he wants to take boxing seriously, like the top 5, like me, I'm like the real challenge. If he want to challenge himself.
And you're also the person who will probably do it too, right? Because Jake is probably never going to fight any of these influencers again. KSI, has a very clear path drawn out. I think Logan is probably going to want, like a celebrity or something, like someone who's like an athlete. Like you're the guy who, if you want to prove yourself as a top YouTuber, you will get in the ring with pretty much anyone.
I'm the only guy that can take on Jake, KSI, and Logan Paul and Gabe Slim.
I mean,
Like right now in the influencer scene, I'm
Jake's
the only
been
one that has the capabilities to beat them.
for sure. Jake has been, I don't know, like respectful. I think the fact that he said he would fight you or that he would beat you, I think that's almost a sign of respect in that he would put you in the class of people who he could potentially fight.
Yeah, the thing right now with me, I'm not even in my best shape right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer they wait, the more harder for them to beat me.
What's the ideal? What like if you were at your peak weight, like I was saying, like if you had abs or something, what weight would you probably be?
I probably still the same weight, like 175, 185.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be where all the big YouTube guys are, right?
Yeah.
I hear that Eddie Hearn was in your DMs. Was there any more to that than what he posted?
No, this boxing related stuff, nothing much. Just like just
Obviously,
if I need like to contact him, stuff like that.
obviously though, to have people like that who are like he's the biggest promoter in the game in boxing, who's like interested in you. Of course, I know you and Misfits have your deal. You and Keem have your deal. So you've got a promoter, you've got shows to fight on. So Eddie kind of missed the boat on that one. He should have been there, a while ago. But
Mm.
to be getting contact from people like that, it must be incredible from where you were just a year and a half year ago.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be like recognized by like Eddie Hearn, like he's one of the best, one of the biggest promoter, and yeah, I work really hard, and yeah, if you work really hard for a year, you can be anywhere you want in life.
Do you think professional boxing is in your future?
Right now I'm 28 years old, so we'll see. I want to wipe out the rest of the influencer boxer in the scene, and then if there's nobody else to fight, I might as well like fight some of the pros. Like what do you call it? Join like a pro boxing tournament or something like that.
That would be a lot of fun. So when did you last talk to Keem about your plan? Because I know you would probably fight tomorrow if there was a fight for you that made sense, right? Like you're kind of always training and in shape.
Then my nose is still healing. From my previous fight, I got my nose like hurt by Josh. So
When do you want to get back out? If they gave you the book and said, right, you get to fight Deji or Slimmer or any of these big names on your schedule, when would you fight?
maybe in the next 2 3 months.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
a bit of sense. Are you going to be at Halal Ham's fight in the corner again?
Yeah. I want to support Halalam. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got himself a good fight there. I mean, the size difference is crazy, right? Like, there's what, a foot between those two guys almost?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Ham is 5'6", and then Ginty is like 6'3". So it's a big, massive difference.
Do you see him in the gym with guys like around that size, and how's he looking? Because he's lost a lot of weight too, right?
Yeah. He lost a lot of weight. He's been sparring a lot of guys like different size, same size as Ginty, some of them, and yeah, Halaham has improved a lot. And he's gonna show what he really got on March 4. I think he's gonna show everybody what his real capabilities, and then he's gonna gain the respect that he deserved.
Obviously, your family are in the corner with you all the time. They're always around during fight weeks, but of course, as well, your coach Solomon appears to be one of the. Obviously, he's a legitimate boxing coach. He's got pros in his gym, but in the YouTube scene, he seems to be the guy, right? Like he's coached you and Ham, and he was involved with Deji for a little bit as well, and he does seem to be one of the better coaches out there.
Yeah, he's Solomon is a really good coach. He tells me he tells me what I really need to do in the ring. He gives me like good strategies, like what I did with Josh, Ham, Andy Worski, and yeah, it shows. He knows what he does, and he has a very good eye in the sport of boxing.
How did you two link up, meet each other?
Um, I was the promoter of Showstar. He introduced Solomon to me
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have a coach back then. I was training myself, like with my dad and my brother, just doing my own thing. Most of the sparring in the street, And he introduced me like 2 weeks before the fight, and then that's it. We started working since then.
By the way, you mentioned that you were working full time when you first got approached. What did you do before you were? I mean, what are you now? Like you're an influencer, but you're also like a pro boxer a little bit as well, right?
Yeah.
What was your job before this?
I was working I was working as a nurse for the NHS.
Oh, nice. Okay, that was
Yeah.
so. I mean, a job where you're on your feet a lot as well, right? That's a pretty stressful job, particularly in 2020 and 2021, I would think.
And that's why I was able to like stay calm even in difficult situation. I think that's my strongest like strength.
So this whole thing has been, I mean, unbelievable for you. Could you have imagined when you texted the promoters and were like, yeah, you know what, I'll do this fight in March. Could you have imagined all of this coming over the next? I mean, it's not even been a year since that first fight.
I mean, I didn't really think that I'll make it this far, but when opportunity comes, you come and take it, and then you work hard for it.
What did you think of Worski as a obviously as an opponent? He wasn't up to much, but as a guy who kind of brought you out of your shell a little bit, was an interesting guy to promote with. He kind of he's a big part of your story, right? When we look back on the Salt Papi boxing story in a few years, he will be a key player in it, won't he?
I mean, Andy Wesley, we didn't really know what he could do. Apart from he was strong. He can lift a lot of weights, and yeah, my coach told me he's not in the same level as me, so I went for it. I went 6 gear, and it took him out. I didn't expect to take him out like that, but like he went down, and the referee stopped it, and that's it.
I had heard Solomon had told me that the plan was, oh, we'll play with him a little bit and we'll like, because at
Yeah.
this level, there's concern that if you knock someone out in 10 seconds, then other people will be like, oh no, I'm not getting knocked out like that. I'm not getting in the ring with this guy. So he was like, right, we'll move around a bit. We'll play and then we'll get the knockout later on. And obviously you just threw that script out and said, no, we're getting rid of this guy in the first couple of seconds.
Yeah, like with me, because there's a lot of like audience, millions people watching.
Mm.
I gotta put on a show everybody like I'm the best. It's my time to to be a star, to be a superstar, and then I show it to everybody. As you can see, most my fight is the most viewed on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like right now, everybody talks about me. Real boxers, Ryan Garcia, Sonny Edwards, talks about me, and yeah, I'm happy to be recognized by those people.
Your family are very supportive. They're always around. But what did they think when you initially got into this?
I mean, they were happy because they know I like boxing, and I never thought I was even good, you know. I never thought I was like even good, but then yeah, I got so much better by training hard every day, and I'm here now.
For sure. What I meant by the way with the Worski question was outside of the ring, he really like I don't like obviously the knockout was incredible, but it was built up even more because you had the great press conference and there was the little bit of a needle there. Like if he were just like a quiet, respectful guy, maybe it wouldn't have been as big of a moment as it was.
Not really. I still do the same. Like I said, it's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. Um, it's just business to me. You don't want to work overtime. Yeah, that's it.
For sure.
Just
So
want to
yeah,
go home, like like during the fight, like I just want to get it done and rest. That's it.
for sure. Well, look, thank you so much for your time. You're going to be back out hopefully in the next few months, and hopefully with some of the big names in YouTube boxing. I suppose actually one more I want to ask before you go is what do you think is going to happen with this Jake and Tommy fight? Do you think Jake's going to win and stay 8-0?
I mean, it's gonna be a difficult fight for sure. I think it's gonna be 50-50, but I'm looking for Tommy Fury to win.
And also, you're going to be torn, right? When Anis Taj fights, when he fights Vidal, right? Because Vidal's like one of our guys, one of the social
Yeah,
media guys, but Anis is your pal.
I'm gonna be done. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching that. Yeah, but Anistaj is my sparring partner, so I'm gonna be supporting both. It's gonna be a difficult fight for Vidal. Anistaj is a very good boxer, and yeah, be the may the best man win.
Maybe you and Vidal fight one day.
Nah, it's too good.
Yeah, I guess if they paid you
That,
millions
like,
of dollars,
that there's level to this, and Vidal is super big. He's super tall.
Yeah,
So
I mean, look, they would need to pay a lot of money, I think, for you to fight Vidal. You know,
yeah.
that one will be a lot of fun. What is the dream fight, by the way? Like, eventually, when you know you've got where you want, is KSI or Jake something like that? Is that like the ultimate kind of goal fight for you, or could you see yourself doing a big exhibition with one of these big name boxers as well?
Yeah, I'd like to fight like Jake Paul KSI, but I would like to do some exhibition like one day maybe with Floyd or Manny Pacquiao. We'll see.
I heard that you were going to fight Floyd, and then that like it just they were too late. It wasn't really like feasible.
I let my management deal with that, and I'm just like here, like ready to fight. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That would have been something special, and hopefully these things happen for you in the future. But look, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to your next fight, and I will see you in Telford at Halal Ham.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank
Thanks
you.
very much.